The next step in our discussion of working with polynomials is going to be how to do arithmetic with them. Right? And ultimately, we're going to want to do all of the same arithmetic things with polynomials that we can do with numbers. Or we're going to want to add, subtract, multiply, and divide them. Right? We're going to start really in the same place that you started back when you were learning to do arithmetic with numbers. We're going to start with addition. Okay, and there's two different ways you can approach a polynomial addition problem. And I'm going to look at both of them here in this lecture. The first way is to rearrange them just like we did when we were trying to simplify polynomials so that the like terms are together. Right? So I'm going to start with the first polynomial. I have an a cubed b term. Right? And I like to cross them off just because that way I make sure A, I don't miss one, and B, I don't accidentally include one twice. Now, if we look at the second polynomial, we have an a cubed b term here. So I'll put that one next. Then going back to the first polynomial, we have an a squared b term, and we also have one of those over here. Then I've got this minus 4ab, and there is no ab term in the second one. That's all right. We just keep going. So now I have a b term here, and I have a b term here. And we still have the minus 7a and the plus 1. All right, now that I have my like terms together, I can combine them together just like we did when we were simplifying polynomials. All I'm going to do is add the numbers that are out in front. All right, so here with this first term, there is a number out in front here. Remember, if there's no number explicitly written, then you can assume there's kind of an implied 1. So to combine these two terms together, 1 plus 6 would give me 7a cubed b. Then here I'm going to combine the 3, and again, there's this implicit 1 here. So you can think of that as minus 1a squared b. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So that's plus 2a squared b. Then minus 4ab, there was nothing to combine that ab term with. Then I'm going to do these two. 1b plus 2b is 3b minus 7a plus 1. And that's it. I've combined all the like terms. Right, so that's going to be the sum of those two original polynomials. Okay, so I've got a second one here for us to look at. And we're going to do this one a little differently. Ultimately, it's the same thing. Ultimately, adding two polynomials comes down to combining the like terms in each of them. Right, but one way that I like to do this, just because it's an organizational tool, I think makes it a little clearer what you're doing, especially when you're first starting out. So what I've done here is I've rewritten these two polynomials, one on top of the other. You notice I've done it in kind of a slightly special way. This first polynomial here, 7y to the 8th plus 4y to the 5th, this one went here. And this one went down here. In places where there wasn't a like term, for example, this second polynomial has a y to the 7th term where the first term didn't. Well, that's okay. I just left a gap there. Right? Notice I've got this space here over that term. And at the end, all I'm going to do is bring the non-matched terms down. So I'm just going to bring down this 7y to the 8th. I'm going to bring down this 4y to the 7th. Now, here I've got some like terms. Remember, all we do with these is we add the numbers. 4 plus 2 is 6. 3 minus 7 is minus 4. There's no match for the y term. And here, 6 minus 6, that's 0. Excellent. That term just kind of canceled, right? No need to write a plus 0 at the end because, of course, adding 0 doesn't change the result. And that's my final answer. Now, if for some reason it bugged you to not have a matching term like with that y to the 7th, that's okay. If you really want to have something here, you can just add plus 0 y to the 7th. 0 times y to the 7th is 0. Adding 0 to the polynomial didn't change it, so that was a fair ball. And now you can really explicitly see 0 plus 4 is 4, and yeah, that is where we end up. All right. Now, which version you use, entirely up to you. I think that this kind of line them up version that I did right here is helpful when you're first starting out. as kind of an organizational tool. As you get into this and you do these more and more, I think the first version is going to be what you end up using 99% of the time, right? Because you'll just kind of go through and say, okay, these are the matching terms, combine them together, and so on, and you'll get to the final answer really quickly.